Hey guys, what's up? I'm here to discuss one of my favorite decks. And I think a lot of people would have mixed reactions with this. I mean, I'm sure it's one of the most hated decks in Wild, but I'm sure Priest mains love this. So I would say I'm a Priest main in Wild. So Raza has become my favorite archetype when it was standard. And in Wild, it is more broken. So even with the nerf of Holy Smite not being able to become damage to the face anymore, Wild is still much more broken. So I'm gonna play a couple of games and I'll try to walk you through how exactly do you play Raza Priest. Now I know I'm just a new Wild player, but I'm playing something this broken, so admittedly, it's a bit of an easy deck to play. However, I think I have a couple of useful insights. So maybe priest mains like me or those who are in higher legend have a much fuller understanding of the deck and how it wins or all the possible outs. But as for me, I think I could provide some insights to at least those who are new to Raza Priest or looking in to check Raza Priest. So I think there are a couple of things some people might know, and I hope this video would help with that. Alright, so basically, you know the combo. It's you have Raza the Chain making your hero power 0, while you have Shadow Reaper Anduin, and you just, ping these two damages after playing a couple of cards. But is it that simple? It looks like it is, but there's a lot of nuance to the deck that I think I could shed some light into. Alright, so let's see here. Against Mage, I'm usually a bad matchup against Mage. As you can see here, it's a 1-2 against Mage. The main problem is Mage has a lot of secrets that they're hard to play around. Like, if you have to play around Explosive Ruins and you play like a Loot Hoarder, that's 5 damage to the face just right there. And that's pretty hard, especially Mage has the ability to pressure. And since you're taking random damage, 5 damage from Explosive Ruin, you're gonna die sooner. So Mage is a pretty hard matchup. It's doable, but let's see in this game. So usually what you wanna do is get into Lorekeeper Pokel as soon as possible. Sometimes it's not that great of an idea, mainly because maybe you want heal spells to survive and stuff like that. And if you get Lorekeeper Pokel immediately and play it immediately and you don't have heals, you're gonna die. You're gonna rely on drawing to Reno Jackson, but sometimes you don't have the mana and you're already dying to like an aggro deck. So it's situational, but against slower decks or the mirror, I think I keep Lorekeeper Pokelt or I mull to Lorekeeper Pokelt. As much as possible, that seals the deal and closes the win. So in this situation, I don't want to coin too early, though it's good to play around counterspell. So this secret is new because a while ago it was rigged fair game. So this could be anything. This could be explosive ruins or counterspell. So it's a tough matchup. Right, so we're seeing explosive runes. So what other insights could I put into this deck aside from get to your combo quickly and just ping it? I think the deal breaker here is really Lorekeeper Pokelt, because if you have Spawn of Shadows in your hand, let me make a math matrix, no, actually a math equation for this. If you have Spawn of Shadows and your combo is already online, your total damage would be 6x plus 8. Alright, so 6x plus 8, where x is the number of spells and or things you play after Spawn of Shadows. So that's a huge deal. 6x plus 8, where x is the number of stuff you play after Spawn of Shadows. So if you play 3 stuff after Spawn of Shadows, that's 26 damage. That's just 3 things to play. So 4, that would give you 32 damage. So if you're not playing against an armor-based deck, 4 cards after Spawn of Shadows is lethal. So this is crazy insane. And yeah, I think it's worth checking out. Checking out this deck. If you hate it, there's a reason why it's hated. It is so powerful. It's not really that annoying for me. It's more of the power level is insane for me. Alright, so I'm trying to survive here. I played around the counter spell. But mind you, I'll most likely lose this match because it's so aggressive and it's the secrets that's hurting me in this matchup a lot. I think if there was no explosive runes, that's a big thing, but unfortunately explosive runes is there. So we might see, okay, I thought we would see rigged fair game number 2. I'm actually not familiar with the number of secrets there are in this type of mage, like how many of each copy. So I think I have to look into that. But admittedly, this is a very hard matchup for me. And if this is counter spell, it just totally negates my Psychic Scream. So I think I have to Holy Nova instead. So if this is counter spell, at least I could do Mass Hysteria. Countering the Psychic Scream and me doing nothing is critical, and I could lose the game immediately. So what other things? I'll have to explain them along the way because there is no general way to play this. I mean, most of you would think just get a combo and you'll win, but it's not really like that. Lore Keeper Pokelt fixing your deck plays a big role in this. Alright, 2 counter spells have been up. I don't think this one has been discovered, so I could actually Psychic Scream this if I want, I think. Yeah, because this doesn't seem to be discovered, right? So what I could do is Dirty Rat, hope that's a minion. And it's not a minion. I think I could do Psychic Scream here. So yeah, I'm gonna lose to card draw here, but since that's not Rig Fair Game, it's not that much of an issue right now. But I think this one might be Rigged Fair Game. So I wanna draw Shadow Reaper Anduin immediately. Oh, there we go. But we don't have Spawn of Shadows quite yet, so my equation a while ago, 6x plus 8, still does not work in this case. But at least if this is Rigged Fair Game, I could sneak in 2 damage in order for it not to trigger. Alright, so we're still in a pretty good spot here. If I get Lore Keeper Pokelt, I think that could seal the game. Because I don't think Mage has a way to disrupt the order of my cards, unlike Warlock or the Mirror. So this is pretty good. Explosive Trap is out of the question. So I could safely Explosive Runes. So I could play this Novice Engineer. Alright, so the Mage gave up. But, you know, it could have been the other way around depending on the secrets and at what time. I couldn't say this is a good matchup. But anyway, as you could see here, this is a 61% win rate for me. This is actually quite high because I think, as a personal opinion, 60% in 50 games is pretty good. So we're just at 44 games. Who knows, this could get lower. But let's play some more games. Alright, we're checking in now. We're almost level 55, which is good. So I feel this deck is something that really doesn't lose unless you focus on countering it. Like, if you're playing a meta deck against this, it's very hard to win unless you have those tools which you put on purpose to counter Raza Priest. But other than that, I wouldn't say it's unbeatable, but I'd say it's really up there in the best decks. But who knows, this isn't quite high legend yet, so I might be naive in this wild meta. But let's continue to play some games. Like I said, I don't claim to be an expert, but I feel I have some insights to certain situations that might help a beginning Raza player. So that seems kind of bad, right? Like, why am I? Others might say, why am I telling new players to play a cancer deck? I don't think it's that cancerous. I mean, if you want to beat it, you can. Alright, so against Warlock, as you could see here, it's a 50-50. It's pretty hard. Warlock has tools to deal with this. So Lore Keeper Pokelt is actually scary for me. Because if I Lore Keeper Pokelt and the opponent has something like no Feratu, I'd just concede. So most of the time, if I don't have the Shadow Reaper Anduin, it's highly unlikely I win. It's okay if the Raza gets milled. I mean, Raza is still a big thing. It's a big part of the combo. But if Shadow Reaper Anduin gets milled, um, that's almost guaranteed a loss. Alright, so the insights I want to say are specifically not in this matchup. It's more of against the mirror. So I'd like to wait for a mirror matchup before I could say it, but if we don't queue into a mirror anytime soon, I guess I'll just pause this for a bit and explain how to have an edge, or at least how to compete against a mirror. Because I'm sure a lot of players really know how to use this deck. So here's the thing. If I Lore Keeper Pokelt and there's no Feradu, it's bye-bye. So the thing is, I have to play around that. And there's also the question of the card that... I'm sorry, I'm not a wild player and I even forget a lot of standard cards. So let me just check the name of the specific card I'm saying. There is a counter to Raza Priest. And I think they are neutral cards. Okay, it's not this deck. I'm just checking Google actually. Hang on. In this situation, I still can't afford to Lore Keeper Pokelt. So I think I'm just gonna go Raza here. Alright, the card is Grizzled Wizard, so it's the swap hero powers with your opponent until your next turn, and on their turn, even after that, they could play Sir Finley and you're back with a crappy hero power on purpose. So that actually also disrupts my gameplay. And Grizzled Wizard is a neutral card, and so is Sir Finley. So again, if you really wanted to beat the deck, you could put those two cards in and hope that after Shadow Reaper Anduin and Raza has been completed, just do the old switcheroo with a hero power. And it's gonna be so hard to win. Here in this case, I could go Lore Keeper Pokelt. See here, there was no Ferratus, so imagine if I played Lore Keeper Pokelt and did not draw, the Shadow Reaper Anduin would have surely been milled. Alright, here I think we have to do some trades. So again, I mentioned the 6x plus 8 equation where x is the number of cards after Spawn of Shadows. That's the total damage you could do. However, if you don't have Spawn of Shadows, it actually decreases your OTK chances because all you have is 2x plus 2, right? X being the number of spells you could play that game. Alright, the opponent played Carnivorous Cube just to have a board. So I think that's pretty good for me. So I could get Kazakus here or Spawn of Shadows. But I'd rather get Spawn of Shadows because I don't want that to get milled. So I think I'm gonna go with draw a card if it's presented. Maybe I could freeze this just to, okay, this is perfect. So if my hero power is not disrupted next turn, this is already OTK. That's how powerful this deck is. I mean, I think Wild has a lot of tools to go OTK, but Priest may be one of the most consistent. Although I lose occasionally to Druid with Malygos and that other card. I forget their names. I think that's a bad matchup. But still, I think Priest could hold off pretty fine on its own and stay in the top ranking decks here in Wild. So, as you could see here, I win the game. Oh, actually, sorry, not yet, because I don't have Shadow Reaper Anduin yet. So, we pray that there's no disruption with a hero power, because I think Grizzled Wizard and Sir Finley is a big possibility, especially with Warlock. So if my hand is not disrupted, we just win next turn. So it's a prayer, but that's really it. It's easy to counter this deck, but if you don't have the counter, you have a very high win rate. Okay, this is also disruption, so I don't win yet. Though I don't have tools to like kill this. I'm thinking if I just go Reno. Although there's a possibility of a bounce with Lotheb, so I could get disrupted again. But I think that's still fine. What we don't want is a swap of hero powers. That's the worst possible scenario, and I think I concede if that happens. Although, if I were Warlock and I had the hero power disruption already, I wouldn't Lotheb anymore, because it's almost guaranteed a sure win. Okay, let's see if I could... If I get Shadower Death, this is still a big win for me. So, how many spells do I have left? This is Actually, I still have a chance to get Power Word Death here. Shadow Word Death. Okay, this wins the game. So we could do the 6x plus 8 here. So after this, I have 4 mana. I could play 3 more spells. That's 26 damage. And it's actually 31 damage because I have Mind Blast. So this is a win. 6x plus 8. I could do technically so much damage. And the fact that Race Dead is here is awesome. So there, maybe I play one last game, and if I don't queue into a mirror, I'll just talk about the things we could do. to play against Mirror. It's not a guaranteed win because it's still kind of a race to who gets Raza and Shadow Reaper first. But there are ways to exploit this. Some of them are mistakes I personally made, and now I remember them. So yeah. So it's another Warlock, so I guess that concludes this. I mean, as a quick conclusion, I think I'm pretty much a win with most decks, except if they pack in specific disruption to the hero power. Or if I'm not able to stabilize against fast aggro. That's also a possibility, but Reno Jackson being there and somewhat drawing consistently, still hard for aggro decks. Alright, I haven't played enough Wild, but whenever you discard a card, because I'm considering Breath of um, the Infinite here, because this might snowball. I'm wasting a coin. I think that's okay. Let's see. Hope that wasn't a mistake. Alright, so we're at 62% win rate after 45 games. And the thing is, it's not a brag or a flex or whatever, but it feels a bit effortless to have this high a win rate compared to, like, if I get this high a win rate with my past standard decks, it feels like I put a lot of effort into getting there. As for here in Wild Raza Priest, it feels much easier. But again, I think it's because I was a Raza main when it was standard. It was my favorite deck. Not one of my favorite decks. It was my favorite deck when it was standard. So I heard it got nerfed. I was never really a Wild player. Then it got buffed back. And now I decided to try it, and it's pretty good. It is pretty bad because I don't think Zephyrus has enough to deal with this. This is 16 damage at hand here. Zephyrus may offer... Oh! This could offer Betrayal, right? At least I get to clear 2 guys. Yeah, this offers Betrayal, so... Force an enemy minion to deal its damage to the minions next to it. Oh, it remains unharmed. I still think I should kill the big guys. So this guy remains unharmed. It's fine. Betrayal would be too broken if I asked for more than that. Alright, so I think Novice Engineer and Zephyrus are my 2 minions. Uh-oh. Oh, Wave of Apathy is pretty good. Oh, Novice... Sorry. None of my minions have died yet. What I could do here is this, probably. Kill this. Wave of Apathy. I think I could lose this game if I don't draw into Reno. This is hard. Ah, man. That sucks. So if I don't draw Reno, there's a possibility I die, but... Race Dead gives me back Zephyrus. And this Novice Engineer, right? So at 6 mana, what does this give me? Well, it could give me Shadow Flame. Alright, I think this is good. So this will present me Shadow Flame. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking 3 though. Oh, but this guy survives. Yeah, I could lose this game. This gives me Shadow Flame. So I'm gonna be taking 6 and potentially more. If I don't get that Zephyrus, sorry, if I don't get the Reno, I'm just dead. Or I could die to anything actually here. Any top deck's actually good here. Knowing discard lock. Let's hope not. Let's hope we survive the next turn. And we don't. Alright, well, that's how life goes. You can't win every game. So I couldn't really say if that was a bad matchup. Maybe it's a bit 50-50. It is a race. If I got Reno early, that would not have happened. But anyway, since I haven't queued into any Raza Priest, let's just explain this deck for a bit. So against the mirror, I personally always want to be on the draw. So if I'm on the play, I kind of end up praying more. Because if you're on the draw, you would be the first to Shadow Reaper and win. And you would be the first to have the combo. So technically you're one turn ahead. And if you're on the draw and you were able to get the combo piece of Raza and Shadow Reaper while you pokelted, then you're about to win. Because again, 6x plus 8 is our magic equation. And 6x plus 8 is assured because you're gonna be drawing the Spawn of Shadows, especially if Lorekeeper Pokelt was early in the game. So what are the ways you could lose even if you get that? On the draw, it's Psychic Scream. So your opponent has Psychic Scream, and you have a couple of minions that are alive on board. Opponent casts Psychic Scream, and now Spawn of Shadows is an unlikely draw. So you have to be careful with that if you're going with Pokelt and you know you're gonna win. Because Priest doesn't really gain armor. Priest just gains life. So the mirror would actually have 5 armor if the mirror draws into Shadow Reaper. And with 6x plus 8, all you need is 5 cards to deal 38 damage. So 5 cards after Spawn of Shadows. So it's pretty realistic, especially if you've fixed your deck, and if you kept card drawers, then you're gonna breeze into these quicker. Also, palm reading helps a lot, so this decreases your stuff. You discover a small spell. The X in your 6x plus 8 becomes a lot easier to pull off. You could put a lot more into your X for this. So that's pretty good. So yeah, if you know you're gonna win, try to trade and not keep any minions on your board, because Psychic Scream will mess up your combo. So another thing to note is you could lose to Dirty Rat to Mirror, especially if they Dirty Rat your Raza and just kill it. So that's unfortunate. There's nothing you could do to play around that. However, if you manage to Dirty Rat something, make sure you have Shadow Word Death at least, because you want to kill a big guy against the mirror. So, but there was one play I did which I think could be useful, is I Dirty Rat and Spawn of Shadows came out. I already had the combo pieces, but I didn't have Lorekeeper Pokelt to fix my deck, so what you could do there is actually Seance your opponent's Spawn of Shadows. And again, 6x plus 8, most likely you win next turn if you're doing it right or if you're careful. So yeah, Seance is more than needed in this card. If you're to ask me what to cut here, I'd never cut Seance. Because Seance is so good against aggro, like you Seance a Reno Jackson. And you're just, I don't know, what's the term? Pouring gasoline on the fire. Sorry, I'm bad with idioms or whatnot. But anyway, Seance is so powerful, don't cut that out. Actually, the original list of this had a card I removed. Uh, oh yeah, I removed Mind Render Illusia. So the thing with Mind Render Illusia is it disrupts your 6x plus 8 combo because you don't know what cards your opponent has and you might not be able to play them. So it eats up 3 of your mana, and Mind Render Illusia is only good against combo decks that you want to disrupt. I wouldn't say it's even particularly good against the mirror, so I just took it out. I put a palm reading because the original deck I chose had Mind Render instead of palm reading. But I think other lists have main palm reading. But anyway, I personally don't believe in Mind Render Lucia unless you're queuing in to a lot of combo decks like Druid, Eviana. What's the name of that card? I don't remember. But anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. So, to recap, try to get to your combo as much as possible. You get Lore Keeper Pokelt, and be careful because against decks, especially like Warlock, be careful not to Lore Keeper Pokelt if you don't have a card draw because your Shadow Reaper Anduin might get milled. Alright? So that's pretty much it for the summary. I think I'll include one more game here. I'm trying to keep me at top 1000 at least. That's my personal goal for this wild because I think wild is a bit easier than standard to win just because of the raw, somewhat unfair power of cards, especially in Raza Priest. So I'll be playing one last game, and if I could sneak in a few other tips, I'm gonna do it along the way. And sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Alright. Oh, what's happening here? The queue time's actually taking a bit long. This might get disconnected, so let's queue in again. Alright, hang on. Maybe a lot of players in wild? I don't know. Wow, this is unusually long. So if you have any questions about Raza Priest, I know I'm not a pro player or anything, but feel free to ask and maybe I could do some tips. Say some other stuff that I may have missed to mention. Like maybe mulligans. I haven't mentioned mulligans, but okay, for mulligans, I usually don't keep card draw against the mirror. I usually don't keep card draw against aggro decks because this is most likely odd paladin. I don't keep mind blast. Actually, loot hoarder might be okay because it could trade, but most of the time I still don't keep it. What you want here is Breath of the Infinite, Potion of Madness. Yeah, I think it's safe not to keep the card draw. I'm just gonna keep Zephyrus in this case. So with Paladin, I sometimes lose because they could be fast, and if you don't get Reno Jackson, or if they get that 2-3, oh, this is Cthulhu, this is quite weird. So if they get that 2-3 guy that gives a summoned 1 health minion +1/+2, that could get crazy real quick for Raza Priest. Alright. Okay, hang on. Someone is calling me. I'll have to take that later because I'm doing a video here. Actually, sorry. Just gonna see who it is. Sorry about that. Yeah, we would wish to have Shadow Word Bane here. So this isn't your aggro, it's Cthulhu Paladin, which I am not sure what this deck is about. Maybe this is safe, I don't know. Let's hope there is no disruption to hero power, or we just concede. Alright. Yeah, I think I could sacrifice something like this Flinger here. I don't really need it, so we want to survive. Because we're down to 18 here, but Reno Jackson's coming in the next 2 turns. So I think just value trading is good here. Do I have to Breath of the Infinite here? I don't think so. I'm going Reno Jackson next turn. I don't think there's an OTK here, especially this is Cthulhu. So I doubt this. Do I Reno now? I guess it's not bad to Reno now. I mean, I'll eat 8 damage, but I could Psychic Scream. It's not bad. Although this might be Omayog, so I think I have to play around Omayog. Oh, this is bad. Alright, I could test this for Omayog. It was bound to be there, right? So let this be a good spell, please. Okay, well, it didn't trigger from the... Yeah, it triggered from the... Well, it is still technically the original spell, right? I think I just go for, Shadow... Oh, Eviscerate's nice. Yeah, but this will come back to bite me if this is Redemption. Alright, it's not. So next turn, it's safe to Psychic Scream. And we're all good. This is an absolutely insane deck, and I'm really happy about this. Oh no, this is potentially another Omayog, right? Well, how do I play around Omayog here in this case? Would you put 2 Omayogs in a deck? You would, right? I'm gonna risk it. Alright, this is pretty good. So one of them is probably Eye for an Eye. I'm not sure with the wild secrets here. So we got a C. Yeah, I think it's safe for me to Shadow Reaper Anduin. Okay, I feel pretty good about this. Only one of the Cthulhu pieces have been played. So we might be able to see our 6x plus 8 equation here. Man, there's a lot of secrets. I wouldn't be surprised if that card was there. I don't remember the name. Let's play around, oh my god. Okay. Um Wow. Wow, I can't even kill that. I think I just go for Raza. This won't kill me, right? Oh, it's competitive spirit. Wow. Alright, not bad. Uh-oh. Well, playing against a deck with secrets is really tough, because especially now that I have no idea what these secrets are. I think I have to test out the Eye for an Eye. No, okay. It's not a meta card, I guess, in Wild. Looking for a sweeper here. And there's none. Uh-oh, this might be trouble. I think I gotta start killing some stuff here. Redemption. Wow, what do I do here? I have a lot of options actually. Give a minion reborn. Deal 5 damage. I do wanna draw into... Oh, this seems good. This seems legit. Alright, not bad. This isn't bad, I got to heal a lot. We might see Noble Sacrifice, I wouldn't be surprised. Then next turn we could do 6x plus 8, right? So if we look at it now, 6x plus 8 would be a possibility of 4 or 5 cards. That's 38 damage. Or 32 damage. So unless there's Hero Disruption, we're sure to do at least 32 damage next turn. And just win the game. So it's a bit simple. There are a lot of nitty-gritty things you have to learn, but once you get to it, it's as easy as 6x plus 8. And don't forget that. And I know I'm just gonna win this game. And that's not even counting the attack on board. So that's 6x plus 8 plus 8, 6x plus 16. But anyway, I hope this video was informative. I'm sure there are a lot of great Raza players, even more so than me. But for those of you who are trying the deck for the first time and come across this video, I hope this helps. And if you do like my videos, please subscribe and I'll see you again next time.